Hello friends, welcome to today's tutorial. Today we are going to learn how to implement the LDAP authentication in our Spring Boot application so that whenever the users try to log into our application, we will validate whether their credential provided by the users are valid or not based on the data present in our LDAP server. So in this video, I am going to build a very simple web application and we will secure that application using the LDAP authentication. So if you don't know what is LDAP, so I briefly explain here what is the meaning of LDAP. So LDAP is just a protocol to access the centralized directory over an internet protocol network or the IP network. So basically it is just a protocol which is used to access the data from some centralized place or the directory. That means if you are the student or the person who is working in the organization, you might get some credential to log into the system of the organization, or you might get some credential to view your details which is present in the university portal or in the organization portal. So that credential, basically all the details are saved in the LDAP server, or we call some centralized directory. It all the data are get saved. To access that data, we follow some protocol. That protocol we generally call that LDAP. I wanted to show you what are the definitions it is available in Wikipedia. So LDAP is basically lightweight directory access protocol, and it is the open vendor neutral industry standard application protocol for accessing and maintaining the distributed directory information services over an IP network. So that is the meaning. Now let us understand how we are going to implement in our Spring Boot application and secure our endpoints or the APIs using LDAP authentication. Here I have written the step by step, just we need to follow each step to build this application. So I am going to follow these steps. If you want, you can follow yourself also. This is the article I have written and I will provide the link in the description. Just go through this. I have explained each and in everything in the detail. So step number one, we need to create the project from the Spring Initializer. So I'm just going into the browser. I will search Spring Initializer. Got it? This one. Give the group name. Give the artifact ID. Give some meaningful name here. Spring Boot LDAP auth app. Something like that. And add some dependencies. We currently only we required Spring Web dependency, and rest we will add once we will going to move further. Just click on generate button. Your project will be get downloaded here. Just go and show in folder and extract in your local system. Extract all. Okay, it is extracted. Just go to your Eclipse or the ID, favorite ID. I'm using the Eclipse. So just import on project and choose the Maven, existing Maven project. Click on next. Okay, this is the directory. Just I have selected and I choose and select folder and click on finished. It will start importing in our workspace here in Eclipse. If you are getting this error, just go to pom.xml and just change this version number from Spring Boot framework to from 2.3.4 to 2.3.3 for now. Just save it and just right click on the project and go to Maven and update the project, and all your error will be gone. If you are getting this error, I don't know why it is coming with the release of 2.3.4, but with the use of 2.3.3 for now it is working fine. See, all the things are correctly imported here. Just move into the article and follow the step. Step number 2, click on generate, we have done. Step number 3 completed. Step number up to step number 4 we have completed. Now the very first thing we are going to do, we will create a one API or the endpoint in the controller class. So just this endpoint is very simple, just for explaining you, because our main intention to learn how to implement the LDAP. So this first I will create this controller and then I will explain you why it is working and what are the purpose of using this thing. Just I am copying it and I will press Control N is the shortcut to create a class and give some name, home controller, and and then just paste it here, that code. See here, this is the REST controller. We annotated with the REST controller, and we provided one endpoint with single forward slash, and it will return some message that is welcome to Spring Security LDAP Authentication Guide. Now if you run the application right now, you will able to access this API directly without any authentication process. So this is just unsecure. This is just a simple thing, but if you having the like enterprise level projects, then you might have more number of the APIs and you don't want to expose that endpoints or the API to everybody. So we need to provide some authentication, or we need to provide some Spring security. So just what we are going to do, just follow the step, another step. So step number 6, we need to add the Spring Security LDAP authentication dependency in the pom.xml file. So what I'm going to do, I will just copy it and I will paste it in the Spring pom.xml, and then I will explain you what are the dependencies we are going to add it here. So just go to the dependencies tag and above the test dependency, and I will paste it here. See, I have pasted here. So see, I have explained you, we have added total 1 2 3 4 dependencies we have added. The very first dependency we have the starter security, like it is a spring security dependency we have added, simple spring security dependency. And the another one we added unbound ID. See here, I explain here what is unbound LDAP SDK. So it is an open source implementation of LDAP server. Because of this dependency, the instance of LDAP server will start running on our local system. So you configured like it is, the LDAP will start working on your local system. So local system is act as a LDAP server if you add this dependency. On another dependency we added LDAP core. It is the Spring integration library which work with the LDAP. Okay, and another dependency which provide the Spring security to LDAP, that is security LDAP. Now come to the another step. We need to do some configuration, LDAP server configuration in our application.properties file. So I will just copy it and paste it in our application.properties file, and then I will explain you what are the things or the properties we are using here. Just go here and paste it here. See, the very first thing, we provided spring.ldap.embedded port 8389. So it will, what happen when you run the server LDAP server, so it will run on port number 8389. Now another properties we have, that is LDIF. So what is the full form, or what is the meaning of this? Basically this is used to provide the path or the location where all your LDAP data are present in the LDAP server. So currently we are using the LDAP server or running the LDAP server in our system only, in our local system, and this is the path we mentioned where all the LDAP data or the data of the users or the organization has been stored. So currently you can see here, that is what is the file name, LDAP hyphen data dot extension is very important. See, LDIF, this is the extension, and this is just a syntax or the format in which LDAP data has to be stored in your system or in your LDAP server. So that's why we are just using this LDIF file extension. We are not using .txt file or .java file like that. We are using LDIF file, like LDIF extension. So I explain it here. What is that? See here, this property is used to give the reference about the file which contain all the user's detail or the path where all the data stored on your LDAP server. Okay, if I find here what is the meaning or the full form of LDIF is, it is just a LDAP data interchange format. It is just a format or the syntax in which the data is stored in our LDAP server. So that is the thing. And here we provided the path where it is stored, and still we did not created this thing LDAP, this file, and we don't have any users detail available currently in our LDAP server. So let's move into the another part, and here I explain you what is LDIF. It is just a syntax or the format is used to store the data in our LDAP server. Okay, now move to the step number 8. We need to create that file and we will store some data in that file. Okay, so let's go, and I'm using source main resources path for creating like file. In this path we are going to create the file, that file. So you can use anywhere if you want to create, but it must be in the class path. Okay, so I'm just going here, new and others, and click on generals, file, and click on next. Keep the name ldap hyphen data dot lidf. Okay, sorry, ldif. That's it, I have created here, and I'm just using this sample data, and this data is actually I have taken from the Spring documentation, official Spring documentation, and I provided the link for reference here. I will just show you from where I have just took all these things, and see here. This is all official documentation. If you want, you can go through this documentation as well, and I try to write in a very simple words here, in a very like short way, so that anybody can easily understood. So these are the data. See, set up users data. So currently what is happened when we added the server LDAP dependency in our pom.xml. So when we run the application, that LDAP server will also run on our local system. But still the LDAP server does not having any users detail or the data. So how can they will validate or authenticate whether that users, how users pass some credential from the login form? We must have some data, right? So that sample data I'm going to store in that file. So I'm just copying it, or you can also get, if you want, here also I provided the same data. It is not different because I'm taking the reference from there only. These are the data. So I am just copying it, and I will, or you can just copy like this here, and you will just paste it this data in your that file. Okay, I paste it here, just finish. Now in the step number 9, we are going to configure the Spring Security LDAP authentication. So at first I will just copy it, this code, and then I will explain you each parts, because my intention is to explain each line of code, and I don't want to waste time on just writing each and every line. I wanted to explain you as it is, as possible, like in a simple term. Security config, okay, I have given this name, and I will just paste it that code. Just close the extra tabs which is not required here. Okay, this package, remove it. Now see, the very first thing we tagged with the configuration. You can also tag with the enable web security annotation. Just we are doing to come into the picture, Spring Boot get to know this is the class that has to be look into that. The very first thing, we extended the web security configure adapter. This is the predefined class present in this package. Can you see? Security Spring Framework security config annotation configuration web security configure adapter. So it is present in here this class, and internally it is also implement one interface, that is the web security configure interface. Okay, and it provides some predefined methods, like it provides some default methods, and if you want to use your own custom security policies, then you have to override that method. So see, the very first method we have configure HTTP security. So this method is basically is used to check or validate all the HTTP requests which come to our server or the Spring Boot application. It should be authenticated. Okay. Otherwise, it is not going to proceed or give or provide the access to our endpoints or the APIs we created in our controller class, it must be authenticated, fully authenticated. Okay, another method we provided here, configurer, and we are passing the object of the authentication manager builder. This is one of the most important thing because here only we are doing all the configuration part for LDAP authentication. See, the very first thing what we are doing, we are using LDAP authentication. So this is the type of authentication I wanted to show you. I explain here in the detail everything. See, auth.ldap authentication. Here we are specifying the type of authentication we required. So we use the LDAP authentication. It is just a type of authentication. So we, in this case, in our project, we are using LDAP authentication. If you remove that and if you just type dot, and you will get so many options for doing the authentication here. I can show you. See, in memory authentication, okay, JDBC authentication, LDAP authentication, and like that. It contains so many authentication, but for now I'm going to use LDAP authentication. I choose LDAP authentication. Okay. Another thing we are using uses DNA pattern. So these are the pattern. Okay, these are the pattern in which our data is stored in our LDAP file. See here, UID and OU is people. So if you go here and how the data is stored here, I can show you some examples so you can understand it. Now see for example here. Now come to article. I will explain you. Here I provided same thing. See the UID. UID is UID is basically the user ID or of that person or the user. Okay, and this is the user password, and it is in form of bcrypt. Okay, it is not in the plain text. It is in the form of bcrypt. So it is present in, this is the format in which our data is stored in the LDAP data dot LDIF file. Okay, so that's why we mention here in our configured part, these are the pattern in which our data is stored, and we also mention the group search base, and similarly we are also provided mention the URL. So basically this URL is the link or the URL where our LDAP server is running, and in that where the data is stored we provided the this location TC. This that is stored in the org is the root node of the data. Okay, it is, so that thing we have provided the URL, and then we do the password compare, and after that password encoder, and this is the encoder, like what is the format of the password which is stored in our LDAP server. See here, our password is stored in the this format, user password attribute, and here the password is stored in the form of bcrypt. Okay, it is not a plain text. So bcrypt password encoder we need to mention here, and here password attribute, you have to provide the attribute or the variable, you consider like a variable in which the password is assigned in the LDAP server file. See here, we are using user password, so this password is present in user password. If you change it to the some other name, that name, like suppose I remove that and choose password, so I will just copy it, then we need to provide here password in place of that. Okay, that is the meaning. So I just use same as it is, and we'll see here. And that's it. Now come to here. So this is all the thing is doing from this method, configure method. So once it is validated, then it will provide the access to our endpoint or the API we declare in the controller class. Okay, now jump to the article here. See, I explain you in the detail. If you want, just go through this article and see. Now come to the step number 10. Run the application and go to the localhost 8080. So let's see, we will go and run this application, and this is the main class. So I will just right click and run as Java. Let's see it will run or not, work perfectly or not. I hope it will work correctly. Let's see. Okay, see, Tomcat started on the port number 8080. Let's go and check it. It's working or not. I'm just localhost 800. So see, by default I am directed to login API because we have implemented the Spring security. Okay, and here you have to enter the username and the password. And what are that username and the password? It should be match with which is present in your LDAP server. Okay, so now see here, this is the LDAP server data which is stored in the LDAP. So I'm going to use any one of that username. It contains so many data, like it is contained for Joy Smith and for Bob, like so many data like that. I'm using this one. We can use any of this thing. This is the UID represent the username. Okay, so I'm using the win, and the password here, see here, this is the bcrypt. Okay, this is not a plain text. So what is the plain text of that password? I mentioned here wins password. So see, this is the password, wins password. Okay, password is wins password. Just type as it is, otherwise you will get bad credentials message, and click on sign in. Can you see we are now able to access the welcome to the Spring Security LDAP authentication guide. Why you able to see this message? Because this is calling one API with single forward slash. Okay, and which is we declare in the application.properties file. See, our the API is now gets secure. Now our endpoint gets secure or the API gets secure. So this is all I wanted to explain you, and it is one of the most commonly used in any application which is work in the production or the enterprise application. And if you face any difficulty, just go through this. I have provided the source code here. Whatever I explain you, you can download it from here. And yeah, if you face any difficulty, just go through this article. I have explained you in the detail. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something here, and good luck.